Hi, you guys. Okay, so today we're talking about using distributive property in terms of groups of numbers. So yesterday we talked about what are groups of numbers, and then we showed the distributive property as groups of numbers. So I'm going to remind us what the distributive property is. Distributive property. Okay. The distributive property is the property of distributing equal amounts to different groups inside of something. To distribute a term equally inside of parentheses. So yesterday we did distributive property in terms of groups of. So when you had, when you had like two groups of x plus 3, you basically wrote x plus 3 and x plus 3, and then you added them together to get 6 and 2x. So 2x plus 6 is the same. Now, what some of you started to notice yesterday, and I know that you noticed it because you started talking about it, is that what you're actually doing is just multiplying each of the terms inside by the number on the outside. So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that's what distributive property is. It's instead of having to write it out a billion times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 15 times, we can just do the multiplication. So let's start with an example problem. Okay, we're going to start with 5 times x plus 6, because this is one that you can check by writing it out if you want to, but I'm going to show you how to use the distributive property instead of writing it out. So this 5 still stands for the number of groups. This is groups of. So this is 5 groups of x plus 6. So that means there are 5 groups of x, or 5 times x. Okay, so recall from yesterday that we said that this means multiply when there's a number outside of parentheses. So this becomes 5 times x. We keep the addition sign in between, and then we multiply that 5 again to that 6. So 5 times 6. All right, so then 5 groups of x is the same as 5x, plus 5 times 6 is 30. And this is our final expression. Okay, you can check it by writing the x plus 6 out 5 times if you want to check it. Okay, and then you can count all the 6's, that makes 30. And you can count all the x's, which are all 1x's, and that makes 5x, which is the same answer we got over here by distributing or by multiplying instead. Okay, so let's try another example. Okay, 7 times 4 plus y. So again, I could write out 4 plus y 7 times, but I can also do it a lot quicker. So this is 7 groups of. So I distribute that 7 to the 4. So 7 times 4. I keep the addition sign in the middle. And then I distribute that 7 to the y. 7 groups of y. And then I simplify. 7 times 4 is 28. And 7 times y is the same as 7y. So it's 28 plus 7y, which should be the same thing as if I just put 7 groups of 4 plus y. Okay, again, all we're doing is distributing that 7 throughout. Okay, let's try one maybe a little bit trickier with a bigger number on the outside that we're supposed to distribute. Okay, so now we've got 15 groups of k plus 11. So 15 groups of. And again, remember we're multiplying. So we do 15 times k. 15 times k. Plus, because this addition sign stays, 15 times 11. Okay. Now notice when I did that, this number on the outside is distributed to each of the terms on the inside. So I can't just distribute it to the 11. It has to go to the k as well. I can't just distribute it to the k. It has to go to the 11 as well. It has to go to both of those terms. If you don't give it to both of those terms, then you haven't distributive. You've been a really bad cake passer-outer because you didn't give everybody at the party cake. Okay? So 15k plus, I don't know 15 times 11 off the top of my head, so I'm going to do that math really quick. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Placeholder 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. I got 5, 6, 1, so 165. And that's my final answer. Okay? So again, we're just distributing instead of writing it out 15 times.